when we think about the executive functions, they are developing throughout childhood, right? And even in neurotypical brains, we don't see them fully being developed until maybe age 25, 26. When we think about ADHD brains, which is kind of our area that we specialize in, we can anticipate oftentimes about a 30% delay in those executive functions. And that's a reframe that we offer to parents, because so often when our child isn't doing what we wanted them to do, or following that plan, or being flexible, maybe like I have a 9-year-old and I have to sometimes reframe that and be like, okay, actually his executive functioning is probably closer to like a 6 or 7-year-old. And that really helps me, because if my 6-year-old was crying about the fact that the cookie spilled on the floor, whatever, I would be so much more, supportive and open to that, versus 9, you're like, oh my gosh, but you're 9. And so when we reframe the executive functioning as this is an area that is delayed, it is developing in kids with ADHD, but it's slower. And that's something that can really help parents to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Even if your child is gifted or advanced in a lot of other areas, they can still have these delays in executive functioning.
I think that's what's hard for a lot of parents too,
Yes.
is that kids with ADHD can be very smart. They can be
Mm-hmm.
gifted. They can have very high cognitive skills. And so this is what we would call asynchronous development. Like when your child's intellectual abilities are not matching like their emotion regulation, that's hard for us adults to be like, you can have a conversation with me about the galaxy and black holes, but you can't handle your frustration when the cookie has spilled on the floor and is now broken. And that is hard, because then we have high expectations for our kids, like, why can't you do this simple thing when you can have those type of conversations with me? But again, that comes back to executive functioning and how those skills are still developing for kids with ADHD.